Hey everybody, Tom Davis here, catching up with you. Um, don't have a lot to talk about. I'll have more to talk about next week because by that point I'll have your feature stories graded. The only thing I need to tell you is that actually I've been off the grid a little bit lately, so I just wanted to let you know that I delayed the deadline by 2 days for the feature story. And also don't forget to contribute to the discussion point. There's actually, as of this Saturday, there hasn't been a lot of contributions. So remember that is actually part of your class participation grade. Um, and other than that, I mean, we had you got back your everybody got back their rewrites for their data journalism assignment. They were much improved, very good. And I appreciate that. Um, Again, I was just really looking for somebody to report on people to report on the trend. The trend was 4 out of 5 times. You know, the tuition was raised in the last 5 years. Some general explanation, which is basically again along the lines of like, you know, you gotta pay for increasing costs and got to pay for a better education, blah blah blah, while keeping things affordable. And then like highlighting a couple of years that actually were important, like the highest years, which were the 2 years that um, where the tuition went up 2.9%. Some people also highlight the fact that after tuition was frozen in 2020 and 2021, that tuition then went up 2.6% to try to make up for the freeze. So that was actually a good one. And another one, of course, the highlight would have this one have been an obvious one would be the COVID year. So anyway, so that's I appreciate everybody's work on that. And of course the then you get the students' response. It was not, again, this is not a student reaction story. This was actually a story about um the data itself. Okay. Now the feature story again, what I'm really looking for again is like again a story that just kind of looks at um, just basically the um, you know, reactions and basically some anecdotes about what people are going through the weather. Since I've signed this, actually, the weather's gone from like 70 to like 30 degrees. So I mean, I can imagine maybe some interesting responses to that because people just aren't necessarily used to that. Um, so anyway, again, and then with the anecdote, you want to make sure that the lead anecdote, the anecdotal lead, you want to make sure that really it's best to focus on really just like one person. With any anecdote, really, is focus on one person at a time. You can drill down more, you can get more information that way, more color, that sort of thing. And then you again, remember, you come in with the nut graph that basically kind of sums up everything that's being said in the story. And I'm guessing what's going to be said is that basically, basically that people are all getting used to this crazy um, weather that's just just kind of been so up and down. One student actually has actually she submitted me a rough draft, so I can again. I mean, there is an example, a sample story that's actually attached to the assignment itself. But let me just show you what she's got. Okay. Gloomy. I mean, I started with a quote, which I'm not always in favor of, but this actually worked well here. Side with Honey Martinez side with the sound with a frown while staring out the window. She was noticing how afternoon sky was no longer blue, but a faded gray instead. One day it's shirt and shorts, she said with furrowed brows. There's a little bit of description right there, which actually works. It's factual. You can make sure that make that judgment if you can see it. Then the next day I'm taking out my winter coat. It's an annoying process, but I don't like it. Just county should be uppercase here. She's a resident of Burlington County, and she expressed frustration towards the inconsistency in the weather. Remember, autumn is supposed to be full of swing, winter every way, but it's people like Martinez wondering if they're really in the season of autumn. And then basically we kind of actually maybe this comes a little bit late, but basically says it's not just Burlington County residents that are expressing confusion and frustration here about the students attending Rutgers are also voicing their irritation. It can be difficult for students of planning outfits. So basically, that's kind of the theme of the story, the anecdote. is that, you know, you have suddenly this change and then suddenly it has to it leads to a change in routines, which could be difficult. So, okay, so that's really it, guys. And I know that was very short, but let me know if you have any questions. And remember that the deadline was changed to Wednesday. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll talk to you.